project is a scroll ring. It's just a very simple ring with a pearl. We can make it in two ways. We can make it with a twisted wire. Here I've twisted one wire, and I believe that's the way I'll demonstrate the project. Here is untwisted wire, and you can make it with both twisted if that's what you desire. This is a quick project. I'm going to show you two or three real quick projects here, and I like to think of them as good projects for craft shows where you can turn out a nice ring and charge $15, $20 for it and produce it in less than 10 minutes. I've cut the wire, and we're using 20 gauge square soft gold-filled wire. I've cut it to a length of 16 to 18 inches depending on the size of the ring of the person that you're making the ring for. And then I use a very small round wire. This is 24 gauge round, and the reason I use this round is because it will go through these very small holes in the pearls. And I think you can only get this in half hard. I don't think you can get it in soft. So we thread the pearl with the wire, and I just bend it down on both sides like that. Talked about tools. I want to show you this work surface again. It's very handy for this type of for making rings. And to begin the project, we just by eye. By the way, I buy these pearls by the strand. They're small peach-colored cultured pearls. They're not great pearls. They have a flat side and then a hole, and a very, very pleasing color, a little bit of texture. So I think it's a nice stone. You can equally well use beads of any diameter, probably up to, well, 8 millimeters if you want. So I put the pearl threaded like this onto the wire, and I just by eye center it on the 18th inch length of wire. I put one wire on one side and one on the other, and then I just wrap that around. I wrap it about 3 times on each side. Anything will do. And again, I keep the flat side against the wire so it fits somewhat tight. Now I'm doing the other end. My 3 wraps. Mash them flat. So that's what I have. It's the pearls tied to the primary wire, and then I cut them right on top of the wire, the primary wire. Okay, so there it is. Now I come out to my ring mandrel, and I'm going to make this 1/2 size under what I want the finished size to be. So say we want size 8. I place the pearl on top of the ring mandrel like that, and again, this ring mandrel is held in a hole at underneath my little work surface. And I bring the wire around what I have. Again at the 7.5 size. I bring one wire around to the base of the stone, and the other wire is like this. Just right at the base of the pearl. Okay, now then holding it on the size 7.5. Again, I'm going to face my wire up. It's just off a little bit. Make the rest of the project go easier. Okay, at the 7.5 size, I'm going to come around the base of the stone with each wire 180 degrees. Just like that. And again, it's at the bottom part of the pearl. Okay. Now then, back at the 7.5, I'm going to bring these two wires together. I'm going to bring one to the other, and if there's a difference in length, I'll bring the longer one to the shorter one. Like that. Now they're together. Okay. At this point, as I said, I was going to twist one wire, so I'll go ahead and twist the doesn't make any difference which one. In this case, I'll twist the shorter. Again, with soft wire, we can twist any length. Take that wire back here at the where it is adjacent to the pearl, and I'll just twist this. One more time, I'd like to say this is soft wire, so you can twist any length. If it were hard wire, by the way, this project won't work with hard wire. Don't even attempt it. You have to have soft wire to get the scroll effect and to be able to manipulate it nicely with your fingers. Now I'm going to make scrolls around the pearl like I did on this one. And the idea of the scroll is to add a decorative effect, but also to hide the wrap wires down here on each side and where they come out of the side of the pearl. So to do that, I make the scrolls all in the same direction. I'll bring them out here, and I control the position and the size of the scroll with my forefinger. Start it here with my thumb. I'm holding these wires right together, and I'm scrolling it around. That's a scroll partially made. I want to keep these lined up though. Just manipulating that to make sure the scrolls lay together. And remember, you're always in charge. The wire's not in charge. Okay, so that's the first scroll. And I'm going to bring it around to form a bezel under the stone. I'll bring it to the opposite side, make the second scroll. So again, with the wires together, I form it around the base of the pearl, just like that. And bring it over to the other side. Here, and now I want to cover that wire coming out. So again, with my forefinger, make the scroll. Note that I've positioned it right over this wire, this wire that locks the pearl in. And like that, and they should be somewhat symmetrical. Now I'll bring both wires back to this side again, forming a bezel around the base. I'm forming this on the other side of the pearl. And can tighten them up to make them somewhat symmetrical. Okay, and that's what we have now. All right, now I'm going to leave the outside wire. That's this wire right here. And that will wrap this ring shank. And I'm going to take the remaining wire and bring it back over to the other side, like this. Like that. Okay, so there's the ring. These two wires I'm going to cut and wrap the ring shank so it will hold the ring shank together. And I need a little less than a ½ inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch on either side. And with my chain nose pliers, I'll pull this up and just begin to wrap. Begin to, as we've done in the past, just roll it around. These shank wires, like this. And I just need 2 to 3 wraps on each side. That will be certainly sufficient to hold it. And I'll move this up under, and I'll tighten them down. I'll do the same on this other side. Just start out here on the end and just roll it around. Again, 2 or 3 wraps is sufficient. And I'll line everything up. Now I'll put it back on the ring mandrel and adjust it to size by rotating and just slipping it up. And when I get it in the correct size, I'll align everything. I'll move this up just a little and crimp. And just tap these things into place so that they lay nice and flat. And you will definitely want to come back then and deburr your ends. It's probably the only place you'll have to deburr and polish the ring. So that's our quick ring, a nice pretty little ring that sells well at craft shows.